Okay, my little kitty cats, we're in. If you've not been going through your personal struggle, you may be coming up on it. I talked about this elusiveness, the part of us that is ancient. And what I was gifted with was the opportunity to see what I become once I move through all of these choices. I guess that's the best way I want to describe them. They are choices. You have free will. Your free will gives you choices to determine if you want to sink back into old patterning. And the old patterning would be connected to the ego and where it doesn't feel safe. So all old patterning is your ego's inability to receive the truth that it can have love instead of pain. And that's the journey that my soul has decided to embark on. And that's the journey that I am sharing with you. So today, what we're going to remember as we take a breath of air, right, from the dive. That's where I've been over the last 2 days, the dive. And my head feels like it's going to explode. So some of the ascension symptoms I'm feeling is exhaustion. So sleep is always great when you're feeling that way, and giving yourself permission to have that sleep instead of judging yourself, saying that you need to do something or be somewhere or out doing something that requires your attention, when really this journey right now we're on is the attention we give ourselves, the care in which we give ourselves, and the time that we need to give ourselves. And I read something, or it was spoken, forgive me, I think it was spoken, not read, that the only thing that determines whether someone fails or whether they succeed is through time. So if you put a time factor on something, then your mind, your ego, can then determine if you are able to succeed at it or fail at it. But if you take time off, you're always going to be able to succeed at it, because without time being the focal point and the desire moving things forward, right? The true free will is the desire in which we put forth our actions. That is where you will gain your momentum. So let's take time off of all of this. So if you felt like you needed to sleep, and time, right, how much you slept or what time it was in the day, or what you should be doing with your time, right, all of those things could be removed. Then you could take the space needed to give yourself what you need instead of conveying it next to time or what others are doing. And this is going to be really important as you go through this process. And how do I determine what's really important? I utilize myself and my own experience to give you insight into how I'm approaching this in a way that gives me momentum in self-love. And I've been on this journey with you 2 years, so this is not a new way in which I'm doing it. It's just a supportive way to allow reflections outside of myself, right? The same support that I'm offering inside myself. So it's the inside out game. And what if all of this that you're going through now, everything that you're experiencing and reprogramming yourself will give you the ultimate freedom that you're seeking, right? The journey is the freedom to remind the ego that it has infinite possibilities and infinite lifespan, not the lifespan of a human, but the lifespan of an infinite source of creation. And that's the journey, right? So we've embarked on it. together. Not yet 2 years, but a good 1 year and 9 months. And each step of the way, I'm sharing. And I'm sharing because the way in which I'm doing it has a rhythm and a rhyme and a direction for me that might reflect for you a similarity. And that similarity will give you support. Now, why did we choose this similarity? I don't know. Maybe we knew inside of us that we were strong enough to do it. So, what does strong enough mean to do it? Strong enough means that when you hit the walls of frustration, uncertainty, and exhaustion, you remember that you have a soul family that loves you and that is always here for you. And those are the moments that you have the strength to ask for help and to receive it, even if you don't know 100% what that truly means. And that's called a surrender. And if you're watching this, somehow we reflect each other in that. And what's cool is we know that we don't have to be perfect. We know that we don't have to know everything. In fact, I know very little most of the time. Because I'm explaining it doesn't mean that I think I know. I'm explaining the process in which I'm going through in action form, and I'm assimilating the information along the way, much like a scientist does, to share with myself first and foremost, and then to celebrate, because every small victory is a bigger victory in motion. And watching these videos 10 days, 1 year, 1 year and 9 months prior is a lot of fun. And I've said to you many times, and I will continue to say, take out your camera or take out your voice recording message and give yourself the opportunity to know this part of yourself. The part that knows why it's doing what it's doing, even if it's 1%. And the celebration piece, even if it's 1% celebration, it's vital to me. It's enjoyable. And it lets me know a part of myself that sometimes is forgettable in those moments that are very difficult. When it feels like, what am I doing here, and why, what difference can my presence make in all of this? And in those moments, I feel very little that my presence can make, but I do know in those moments is the best time to say, I need love. I open myself up to the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, and I ask to receive your love and to fill up those places in me that don't know that they are lovable. And each and every one of us along this ride will be doing something different that will be adding to a full collective consciousness. So don't underestimate your part in this, as I am not to underestimate my part. and maybe this large hope that we all have of a world filled with pure love, and only pure love, is not as far away as we may think. It's only the ego inside of us that is gathering up the right information to believe once again in that possibility. And once it adds each speck, right? Like think of it like a star, and the star keeps adding each speck of its remembrance to this bigger, wider spectrum piece. You'll see outside of you, in others, a momentum building, right? And then all you'll begin to see is that momentum building. And that's what we're all working towards. And that's why I do these videos, to be part of the momentum building visual. And when I can't be part of the momentum building visual, I do the work to get placing in the momentum visual again. And that's what I'm here doing. Seems insignificant at times, and at other times it has value to me always. So what it appears like, I guess, really becomes a secondary piece to it, right? How we view ourselves is the most primary piece, and how we respect ourselves is the most primary piece. And one last thing before I go. All awakening is, in my opinion, is the remembrance that you are loved. And all we're doing as human beings is allowing ourselves to be loved. Flaws and all. And the more we can allow ourselves that, which is really, in those deep dives, all you're doing is remembering to remember that you're lovable, and that the outside reality system was only created because we forgot that. I think that's enough right now. It's fun, though, to share with you, because these thoughts, although they may seem not new, right? You may look at a video and go, I think you said that a year ago. Where I say it from, right? And that's the quantum perspective, is where I say it from, where it anchors in me. The knowledge in which it anchors in you is definitely different. And I want you to feel that. I want you to allow yourself to feel how much you've grown. How much we've grown together, right? And I'm so proud of us. I'm going to encode this video with the highest light, highest love, and highest of sounds and vibration, because I can. Ooh.